Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's have a look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker with Tom McKenzie, and we're joined by our reporter Chloe Millay. Good morning.
Good morning.
The Dutch insurer Aegon confirming that it's moving its headquarters to the US. Has this made a big ripple in markets?
Yeah, well, it has sent the shares down quite a bit this morning. There's actually a lot happening for Aegon that it announced this morning. So as you mentioned, moving the headquarters and also the legal domicile over to the US, and also rebranding as Transamerica. It's also unveiled new midterm targets, a new buyback of 400 million euros, and also a strategic review of the UK unit, which could potentially result in a divestment. So this move is not really coming out of the blue. You know, this is something that has been on the table for quite some time, and it had announced a review this summer of its listing and potentially moving its headquarters. And it does generate a majority of its profit from the US, so it does make sense. But then we did have a big share price drop this morning, so that would indicate that investors are not super keen on those massive changes. Perhaps that's because of how much that will cost. So the company expects to incur about 350 million euros in costs through to 2028. And then some analysts have also flagged that maybe the announcement on payouts, so that 400 million euro buyback, is also a little disappointing. So there's a lot to digest, and maybe some of that share price movement will stabilize over the next coming days, as this is a little bit more digested by investors and analysts.
Okay, so from Aegon and the insurance space to Siemens Energy, what's the story with Siemens Energy?
A couple of things happening for Siemens Energy as well today. So we had an activist investor pushing for a review and the potential spin-off of the wind operations, which has been a part of Siemens Energy that has been under a little bit more pressure recently. So the activist investor said that the unit was a little bit more volatile, but also a lower margin than some of the other businesses within Siemens Energy, and that a spin-off would really help that company refocus on gas power and grid power as well. And then in addition to that, we also had a positive read across from GE Vernova over in the US, which doubled its dividend and also boosted its forecast. So that spells quite good news for the electrification sector, which of course has been benefiting from the energy demand from AI and also kind of grid expansion across the world. So both of those things, the activist investor and that positive read across, have really lifted those shares for Siemens Energy today. And by the way, it has been having a really good year. We're up 140% a year to date, and so it's definitely a continuation of what's already been a very positive trajectory.
Okay, so that's interesting. Now, Ferrari, not the F1, not Lewis Hamilton's first season with them, but let's think about the analyst's view of the company.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less interesting, a bit more dry, but yeah. It is down this morning after being downgraded by Oddo, and that is just a couple of days after being downgraded by Morgan Stanley. So the problem that analysts have with Ferrari is that the company is voluntarily reducing volumes to kind of boost desirability for its models. So of course that ensures that Ferrari retains that exclusivity that it's known for, but it also means quite limited growth in the short and medium term. And there's also a lot of investor concern around the launch of the company's first electric vehicle, which is coming next year. So we still have a large majority of buy ratings on Ferrari, but those couple of downgrades are really weighing on that stock, and that's really raising questions about the catalysts moving forward.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.